Hello aspirants, welcome back to VR IAS. So we were studying about Indian polity. As part of our discussion on Indian polity, we had started with fundamental rights. In fundamental rights, we had already seen the meaning of rights. We had studied about the constitutional rights. We had studied about America's Bill of Rights, and also the importance or the significance of fundamental rights were already discussed. We had seen some of the characteristics of fundamental rights, and we started with classification of fundamental rights. So, in fundamental rights, we studied that there are 6 fundamental rights. So, the first fundamental right is right to equality, which covers Articles 14 to 18. So, let's study each and every fundamental right separately. So, first is Article 14. Article 14 has got 2 parts. The first part is equality before law, and the second part is equal protection of laws. So, the first part, equality before law, was taken from Britain, whereas the second part, equal protection of laws, was taken from America. So the first part, equality before law. The name says that law is supreme. That is, law is same for all, irrespective of whether the person is rich or poor, or irrespective of the office that is occupying. Law is same for all. That is the meaning of equality before law. So while giving this, there shall be certain differentiations made. That is, if the differentiation is having some reason, then differentiations can be made. That is what is the meaning of equal protection of laws. That is, like should be treated alike. So, reasonable classification or reasonable differentiation can be made. Take for example, if there is a differentiation for senior citizens, that is reasonable, right? That is based on age. Or else if there is a differentiation that is made for the persons with disability, so that is also is reasonable differentiation that is made based on the percentage of disability that the person is having. So that is the meaning of equal protection of laws. And one more point that is to be noted here is equality before law. While giving equality before law, there are certain exceptions, that is for president and governor. So if while the president and governor is in office, and while he is performing his executive function, if it is going against equality before law also, that is allowed. That is, there is exceptions to president and governor while performing his public duties. And the second is, there shall not be any criminal proceedings on president and the governor while in office, and there shall not be any civil proceedings against the president and governor, whereas the civil proceedings is allowed after giving the notice. That is, after expiry of 2 months notice, the civil proceedings is allowed against the president and the governor. So that is the exceptions that is allowed under equality before law. Next article is Article 15. Article 15 says no discrimination against any citizen on grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. Here, no discrimination. 3 things are to be noted. First is discrimination, second is citizen, and third is only. Here, it says citizens. So, Article 15 is exclusive to citizens. And next is discrimination. That is, there shall not be any differentiation while in public places. So what is this public places? Take for example parks, government hospitals, or roads for that matter. So that is maintained and controlled by government. So all these places comes under public places. In these public places, there shall not be any discrimination made only on these grounds. So these grounds, that is also important. So we have to keep in mind which all grounds are covered here. So that is the meaning of Article 15. However, discrimination is allowed. There are certain exceptions to Article 15 also. Take for example, if there is a reservation that is given, so that means we are making certain discrimination here, right? So there are exceptions to Article 15 as well. So Article 15, what are the exceptions? That is, take for example, for the advancement of socially and educationally weaker sections of society, that is for women and children, SC, ST and backward classes, and also the economically weaker sections. For these sections, there are exceptions that is allowed. That is, we are giving reservations, right? So this is a kind of exception to Article 15. So that is what is the Article 15 all about. We shall learn the Article 16, 17 and 18 in the later video lectures. For now, keep watching Vyara IAS. Thank you.